with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I made 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways. Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
6. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
Off play action. Higgins. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry for Foster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
3-19. Detroit!
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way down. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. On target over the middle to Hill. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Higgins. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st and 10, Higgins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
We call that a sack look.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Higgins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's done. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. Well, first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing on first down. Higgins. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
No, check, Patriot, Patriot!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. This is fielded at the 7. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time. And
he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. Higgins. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Foster. He's got the 1st down and more past the 40. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this 1st half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
On 1st down, Higgins. Now they go screen. It's complete. Finding room inside the 40. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And this is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
To throw again. Higgins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 3rd down, Foster. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football. Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. So a jump there defensively. And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game. Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's taken in at the 9. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board. 3 points is 3 points. And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone? Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half. Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions. It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it? You went horoscope on us, David. Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something. Anything, right? And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Drops it underneath to Elliott. So he got free at one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Bears on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, a little 360. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Set. 319. 319.
Back to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the 2nd half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, 2nd half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll start on the ground with Foster. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw on 2nd down, Higgins. And finding the tight end, Hooper. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st and 10, Higgins. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Higgins. He's going to fire one deep over them, and that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Gun! 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 Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A give to Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back there in that Philly, here we go. Gun, 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 gun.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Set! Green, 39! Green!
Looking to throw. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Bears on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go on the ground. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Here we go now. Green, 39! Green, 39! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue, landing!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Higgins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Higgins throwing middle, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
3-19!
And the blitz does come. He can run for it, and he will. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. 1st and goal, Foster. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back to throw now on 1st down. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll set up a throw. A dump off to Elliott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Watching that, Barney! Barney!
Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll hand off to Foster. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watching that, Barney! Barney!
They keep it in the hands of Foster. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I have to admit to a little bit of surprise on that play call. Short yardage, and they try to go wide. They got spilled for their efforts.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead stretches 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Off the play fake. Higgins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Flushed out right, going deep, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Adrian Amos with a pick. Then he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the ball is knocked out.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Trying to lay, and it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
56, lucky 56.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit